So today I'm tasting the new makeup that genuinely caught my attention and that I actually want to share with you. And this is our before: blue and purple veins around my eyes, a few blemishes on my forehead. Let's start with primers. On this side, I'm using the Milk makeup. Look at this subtle pearly reflection and look at the texture. It feels like a lightweight gel. I'm showing it on my hand first because it's much easier to see how it moves and settle over all those tiny lines. It melts almost immediately, but it definitely leaves that signature tacky finish. My hand is almost sticking to my cheek. And now on the other side, let's try the glow recipe. This formula is much more fluid and serum-like than the Milk primer. Even the glowing pink bottle gives you a clue about the finish we are expecting: the healthy, lit from within radiance. The first thing I notice is the watermelon scent. It's light, fresh, and not overly sweet, and it disappears very quickly, so I don't continue smelling it on my skin. And this side definitely looks more luminous and feels slightly lighter and more hydrating. I can imagine dry skin really enjoying this texture. I'm tasting two complexion products today: one skin tint you have been asking me to try, and one completely new foundation for me. The formula catches the light with the tiny golden radiant particles. Don't panic, this is not going to make your face look glittery. These light reflecting particles help soften the appearance of little shadows, hollows, and uneven texture, just creating that polished skin effect. And the texture is incredibly light. It begins as a cream, but as soon as I blend it, it almost turns into water and melts into the skin. Okay, now foundation. The texture is incredibly fluid. It feels even lighter than the previous version of the same foundation. And look at that subtle pink radiance. This is exactly what I look for when choosing a foundation for skin with a visible pores, texture, or fine lines. Look at the transformation. At the very end, I always move the brush downward and gently press over the skin in the direction of the facial hair. That helps lay down the pitchy fuzz and prevent little flakes or hair from standing up and disrupting the finish. And the skin looks incredibly luminous, but not sweaty. The coverage is light to medium and buildable. But honestly, I want to leave it here. It doesn't feel as though my skin needs anything more. And there is a light, pleasant scent, so just keep in mind that this foundation isn't fragrance-free. Now let's move on to concealers. Just using a gentle tapping and pressing motions rather than sweeping the product away. And this is interesting. If you compare this eye with the before, and the shadow beneath the puffiness looks softer, which makes the entire eye makeup area appear less swollen on camera. And I don't want to claim miracle after 30 seconds, but visually it has made a noticeable difference, especially if you check the end of the video. On the other eye, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Radiant Concealer. I recently finished my previous Shape Tape. It feels less dry, which will be perfect and especially useful moving into autumn and winter. It reflects more light, keeps the under eye area looking hydrated, and doesn't emphasize dry patches around the nose or the fine lines in this very thin skin quite as much. And the finish effect is actually very similar on both sides, but the textures and formulas are completely different. Now for blush. I actually wore this one on my birthday, and I wasn't expecting to love it so much. The packaging is simple, the compact is tiny, and it isn't positioned like an ultra-luxury product. But if I tested this formula without seeing the packaging, I genuinely could have believed it was an expensive luxury makeup product. Yes, the pen is small, but look at the pigment. One little touch is enough. It's extremely cute, easy to use, and very flattering. Next is bronzer, and it's marked as a bronzer, but on my fair skin, this gray olive undertone works much more like contour shade. I avoid anything too orange because I want this to work with my autumn makeup wardrobe. On light skin, it creates a very natural shadow, blends easily, and looks incredibly minimal. I'm applying just beneath my cheekbones, then into the temple area because that placement follows my natural bone structure. And I'm also taking a little along the sides of my nose for definition. And with whatever is left on my brush, you can softly move through the crease of a hooded eye. And that tiny amount of shadow helps connect the entire face without making the eye makeup look heavy. Next, powder. It promises blurring, setting, and smoothing. And my first impression is that it does all three without looking cakey. The shade looks visibly pink in the compact, but it doesn't turn the skin pink. It's important for me. On me, it behaves much more like a translucent brightening powder. I'm pressing it onto the areas where I want to reduce shine and set the cream products, rather than aggressively sweeping it across the entire face. I wish it had a mirror because this is exactly the kind of powder I would carry for touch-ups. Our final category is lips, and this is my first ever Rhode product. I somehow managed not to be influenced during the peak of the hype, and now that everyone has moved on to talking about other launches, I finally decided to try the Rhode Peptide Lip Tint, and actually form my own opinion. The product comes out in a dense drop and doesn't immediately run, which is promising, and even without lip liner, it should stay in place more easily and be less likely to travel into the fine lines around the mouth and just bleeding. It doesn't have a strong fragrance, and to me it has a slightly sweet taste in case that matters to you. And the shine is beautiful, very wet, smooth, and even. 10 lip pencils in beige, pink, brown, and mauve tones. There are warm, cool, and neutral shades, as well as light and deeper options. Let's watch all 10 just quickly, so you can compare them in the same lighting. I'll start with my favorite, this cool gray-brown shade, and what happens if we tap a little of the same rose blush into the center. Look at this monochromatic lip combination. So beautiful. What impressed me is the texture, and these pencils feel buttery, glide evenly, and release pigment without dragging. They aren't dry, and you can soften the edges with your finger. And I would pair the deepest shade with a red or burgundy lipstick, while the lightest shades would be beautiful underneath a translucent gloss. And the range works with so many different lip textures and makeup moods and skin undertones, so definitely worth it. I also have 2 colors of Refi lip glosses. They feel slightly lighter and more transparent than the Rhode tint, so these are better for someone who prefers a thinner, airy gloss, but they still create the same beautiful mirror-like shine on the lips. And finally, the beautiful Kiss Kiss honey-infused intense lipstick. This is for anyone who appreciates packaging, tiny details, and that feeling of luxury. The slim bullet is elegant, and even the little bee engraved into the lipstick is adorable. Love this detail, and the finish is blurred and matte, but the initial application feels creamy and comfortable. It glides over the lips very easily, and then begins to set. Clearly, I'm already living in brown, rosewood, and chocolate tones. My head is completely in autumn, even if my body is still in summer. And I'm already preparing my makeup bag for coats and deeper colors. I also have a few refill shades, including lighter daytime options, and that could still work beautifully during summer. So we will definitely test those next. I like the first impression, but I want to see how they wear for several hours before giving you a final verdict. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching and have a great weekend. Bye!